Good morning, good morning, good morning, you guys. All right, it is morning time, and you are seeing me on earlier. You probably are going to see me on earlier and earlier, only because this is my hobby. It's not really a hobby, it's something that the divine has asked me to do, and it is something that I need to make sure I fit into my day. Because not only do I do the tarot, but he gives me downloads for videos. Like I just did here, the decisions and choices video. There's a link down below for that. That is in relation to whatever people are going through right now. And it's coming up a lot in the readings this week. So we're doing readings for, the 19th through the 25th. So just giving you a little preempt, because if somebody's coming on live, they want to come and pop in. It gives them a minute to pop in. But I am on earlier. You're going to see me on earlier, guys. It's 10 a.m. Pacific Coast. I am trying to get on around 9 a.m., but it's not happening because I'm the setup, and then also when I get up, I have a bunch of other things I need to do before I come on, but you'll probably will start seeing me on between 9:30 and 10 or 9 and 10. So just a heads up for those that do like to watch me live. And then I may be doing a few later in the day. I would say probably around 4 to 5 or 5 to 6. Okay. And that's Pacific Coast time here in the United States. So that's why I'm coming on a little bit early. So you're going to see me a little bit earlier and earlier because I'm getting busier, but this is important for me because this is what the divine wants me to share. So there's always a message he wants me to share. So I don't know who it's for, and I have to make sure that I prioritize the divine first. So this is why I'm on earlier, guys. So bear with me. I may not look so pretty in the morning, but we're going to get going. All right. So again, don't forget about I am reposting this week the decisions and choices video. This is the divine wanting me to do this. So I put the link down below so that you guys can have that if you want to go watch that. If that is coming up in your life, and you've got some big choices and decisions to make, it's time to really just sort of put divine first in our choices and our thoughts and our decisions. So we're going to be doing this for the 19th through the 25th. We're almost done with July. What the frick? This is halfway through the summer. Well, they say it's the beginning of summer, but it's like halfway through. At least camping season here in Oregon. So we get camping season all the way up probably until maybe mid-September, late September. If we have an Indian summer, they call it an Indian summer. They're probably going to change that because that's probably politically incorrect. But anyway, we do sometimes. So you get till the end of September to get those beautiful, beautiful fall. We have 4 seasons here, and I just love it. Anyway, let's get started, you guys. I have really good energies. I have a little, I will be honest, I have some mixed energies this morning because one of my viewers did, bless me with a sharing this morning that he had, and it really made me think of, especially about these tarot cards, because I've been doing tarot a couple years. However, we're always learning and evolving. And he shared something about a deck that I just got, and I really was having a hard time with that deck. I felt energies from it, but I was having a hard time with that deck. And he shared some information that I did not know. And so I researched, and that deck's going bye-bye. So Divine has really opened my eyes, because when I would look at the deck and use it, I would get all muddled. It's like, this was just clear 2 seconds ago. Now, why is it muddled? Why are you muddling this? Because Divine was intervening that was not a good deck to have. So Divine does intervene in our lives, guys. All right, so we're going to get started. For those of you that are brand new and just watching, thank you for popping in. I got to do my little spiel, guys. And because I like to teach. So if you're new to tarot, these are oracles. They're just a theme kind of deck. And we're going to get a theme. A lot of tarot readers go past, present, and future, or current, past, present, and future kind of a thing. I don't do that because mine's divine driven, divine guided. First card out is divines. There is a message for you if you're trying to have a decision, a choice, or whatever, because I'm highly intuitive. This is what my message is. My downloads come through that card to tell you what you need for that day. I don't know who it's going to resonate with. A lot of the times it may not resonate with you, but maybe the current energy or the future energy, which happens to be the future energy is astrology, which is the universe, which is divine. Those two cards I really focus in on. And as I shuffle and lay the cards down, I'm definitely talking to divine all the time. You guys can't hear me, but I am talking to the divine all the time. I'm asking him all the time, give me more information, clarify, whatever, because I've prayed before the sessions to be able to help someone out there with these readings. So we have divine's card, we have current energy card, and then we have future card. All right. And then these are the theme. Then we go to the tarot cards. Tarot cards are just a tool, guys. The divine, his intervention, his intuitiveness. This is an empath. This is the part of being an empath. You have to have a connection to divine. You have to be able to go to divine first for everything. And then he pulls it. You pull in all those energies from him. All right. So this is something I teach in coaching, especially about your intuition. And about the sort of, these are the telephone. Hello, hello, are you there? These are just a tool, okay? But the intuition, the connection between whoever is a tarot reader, make sure they have a connection between divine, hugely important. Or you're just reading cards, and anybody can read cards. Anyway, I don't know who that's for. But the first card out is the watery fairy. The water fairy, excuse me. I like to make sure I'm reading the deck properly. The water fairy is about the number 10. Okay, now 10 is all about, for those that are new, 10 is all about, something being completed, something finishing, something leaving and going away, which would be normal, because whenever something leaves, something has to begin. So the number 10 is actually two numbers. It's the 10 or it's the number 1. And it's basically saying something's ending, something new is coming in. Sort of like when you have a death, you have a new birth in that year. Ever think about that? In the family, if there's a death, there's who's getting pregnant this year. You got to go sort around. I won't go into the story that we had, but definitely it does happen, because when there's an ending, there's a birth. Okay, but this is about your feelings and your emotions. Now, we just had the new moon, and the new moon was all about feelings and emotions, being too sensitive, being too touchy, too oversensitive feelings and emotions. Might have felt weepy, felt cryy, whatever. But when this card comes up, it might be a different meaning for the artist, but what divine is telling me, please pay attention to your feelings and your emotions. However, do not let the emotions and feelings control you. You control the feelings and emotions. We've heard this many times before, because he keeps popping this up, because we want to go by our feelings and emotions. That's not absolute truth. That's human truth. Because, well, you're saying that I don't feel that way. Yes, you do feel that way, but are those feelings being projected on absolute truth? Or is it just because you feel that way? That's why we don't want to go by our feelings. That gut intuition, that intuition is from spirit. That's not a feeling or emotion. A lot of people get that completely. I should do a video on that, right? Some people think that is an emotion or a feeling when you say, well, my gut says, or I feel, but it's your intuition. It's a fight or flight kind of a thing. It's a protection kind of a thing. It's a guidance kind of thing. It is not a feeling or emotion. It is your spirit speaking to you, and it is telling you something that you really need to pay attention to. It's not about your feelings and your emotions. Because a lot of people, well, my gut feeling. My gut feeling is not a feeling. It is your spirit. Big difference. Okay. That's either my gut feeling is living worldly and my intuition is spiritual, because you don't go by your feelings or your emotions. We have them. Yes. But we have to learn to control them, especially anger. I keep hearing anger, anger, anger. So our current energy, this is interesting because, okay, so something's going to go away and it has to do with your feelings and emotions. So that might be that you're going to stop trying to let your feelings and emotions control you, because the number one card here is a new beginning, which is Merlin. And Merlin is about justice and balance and alchemy. Okay, so this is something new. These two energies go hand in hand. Something ends, something's new. So balance is trying to come your way. Okay, now justice, there might be something going on, a little kerfuffle, or something that needs to be fair, that has been unfair. Sometimes things are unfair and we can never change them. My brother was murdered, totally unfair. Can I change that? Never. Okay, so some things we got to realize are out of our hands that we cannot control. We have to accept as they are and keep moving on, because divine has a reason for why everything happens in our lives. Okay, so balance and justice, we'll pay attention to those, because that's what he's got on my mind here. So, and then the future energy, which is the universe, which is basically divine energy. The future energy is creative action and optimism, and it's number 3. So basically what he's saying in the future is stay positive, acknowledge when you are not positive, or a higher vibrational thought, joyful is, and something that brings joy or positiveness, lifting somebody up, supporting somebody, supporting yourself. So maybe you don't believe in yourself. You have to start talking this self-talk to yourself to be lifting yourself up. So these all, because that's going to bring balance. Again, you're actually going backwards. You're going to do these things, bring balance, and then you're going to actually get your feelings and everything in control. These cards work together. He's amazing. Isn't he amazing? I love divine. I love divine. All right. So people talk about angelic realm. Okay. So if you're new, well, what about the angels? What about this? What about that? You know what? I go to divine. Divine sends the angels. Divine sends whoever they are. Now, I will never, ever, ever, unless I hear what they say and they are very, very specific, I will never say, oh, I'm talking to Archangel Michael. I'm talking to Gabriel. I won't do that, because I don't know if that is. And you know what? It doesn't matter, because they're of the angelic realm, so it doesn't matter. They're in the angelic realm. They've got wisdom that I will listen to, because they've got knowledge that I cannot understand. A lot of it is old knowledge, old wisdom. Okay. And it might be my ancestors, might be your ancestors. It might be, whoever. If you believe in saints, might be saints, that kind of a thing. But I go straight to divine. All right. So let's get your spread going, because I've been yapping too long. Probably going to be a little bit longer than usual. Hopefully not. And then if there is no love in your reading, of course, I will go do a love reading. It just meaning that see what's going on in your relationship. See if there's anything that divine wants to share. It's been sort of interesting week. A lot of emotions flying out there. And if you're seeing a bunch of numbers, like double numbers, triple numbers, that's sort of typical right now. Wow. This came up the other day. Interesting. So, you might be seeing those. And you know what? It's so easy these days. If you don't understand what the numbers mean, 1, 3, you're seeing all these double numbers, triple. Maybe you're seeing them 4 and 5 numbers. You might just Google that. There's so many places. You just got to sort of watch. You want to go to the reputable ones that have been around a long time, that have been doing astrology and numerology a long time. If you're going to study numerology, go to somebody who's actually done it for many, many, many years. You want the masters in it. Definitely. You can go and Google and all these other ones pop up, but you want masters. And for example, I love listening to, he's sort of eccentric. I love him. For astrology, if you like to study astrology, Rick Levine, I love studying him. I love studying Pam. I think she's from the UK. But Rick Levine, I've known for many, many, many years, watched him and his partner do horoscopes for many years, but he does astrology. Go to the masters if you're going to look up numerology and astrology and learn from the masters in it, because they can teach you so much more because there's so much connection. What's interesting about astrology and divine, because, well, of course, it makes sense, right? Divine and astrology go hand in hand because divine is astrology. He is the energy. They are the energy. However, divine created all this. So definitely, why wouldn't they be the same? And then people poo-poo it and say it's all satanic and it's all cult and everything like that. Better start reading your Bible or your Quran or whatever. It's interesting because they're all the same. They're pretty much all the same. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Kara. Is it Kara? Kara? I'm sorry, I don't mean to butcher your name. I really don't. I'm not good with names. If I saw your face, I would remember it in a heartbeat. But names, I don't know why. I always have had problems with names, unless they're in Japanese, because they speak Japanese and it's very easy because they do it in syllables. Anyway, let's see where we're going. Boy, definitely a lot of authority this week. Authority just means that you need to have authority over yourself, over things. All right. There's a lot of that in here. Okay, so your first card out is the Page of Pentacles. Interesting because Page of Pentacles was, gosh, I don't know which sign it was first out. But this is a young energy, a newer energy. And when the Page of Pentacles comes out, we sort of look at sort of what's going on, something new, maybe something you're learning about your finances, your career, school. Maybe this is a question that is coming up. This is maybe a passion that, because we've got the divine in feelings and emotions, and we've got the Page of Pentacles. So this is sort of like a passion of what you want to do for your future. This is a passion for your career, your school, whatever it is that you're working on right now. And if you're a little bit older and you're in a job, it's not a career, but it is a job. There is a difference. You might be questioning if you want to stay in that. So this is the first card out, which I really like. The last card is your challenge card, is the Sun card, is to actually become more free and open about something. So if our first card out is Page of Pentacles, this might be more freeing. What is it that's going to be more freeing, more joy-filled, more happy for you to do in your career and your career path? However, there's a lot in here in between, okay? And remember, we're keeping the feelings and emotions as the forefront, because it's all about balancing. Somebody's definitely confused about their future because we've got the moon, and the moon is about, let's see, it's about the number 9. So something is just not quite, it's like you're not content with what you're doing. And that's why your feelings and emotions maybe are getting involved. Is you're not content, you're not balanced. We've got that current energy with Merlin being balanced in justice, trying to figure things out, because we have the Hermit card next. Hermit is Virgo energy. This is about not overthinking, but thinking, analyzing, looking at something, picking something apart, making sure that the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. It's a very analytical kind of a thing. So this is something that's just sort of like, it just doesn't feel right. It is not something that it's like if you're in the wrong career path, it just doesn't feel right. It's like, I really shouldn't be doing this. I should be doing something else. It is that spirit talking to you. Is this the path that I chose? Is this the, journey, purpose in my life that I'm supposed to be doing? This is that feeling. This is that authority inside you. We've got the Emperor here, and it is about the authority within what you have, the power within what you have, the wisdom within what you have. And that is not only your feelings and your emotions, they've got to be there, but this is your spirit. And so somebody's mind and spirit is sort of off balance, or if it's how do I put that? It's just tweaked a little bit. So it needs to just be brought back to balance. Okay. And the only way that we can do that is really looking at somebody in more of a positive, or ourselves in more of a positive upper light. And because when we're in something that is not our purpose and our calling, or our destiny is our path to our purpose and our calling, we're going there, we're not very joy filled. We're not very thankful. And that's why divine is saying, if you're not joy filled, if you're not thankful, this is where you need to be. You do need to. And this is self talk for some of you. This is for, because we got something that's going to throw a wrench in your day or your week coming up. But the thing is that we want to stay positive even in the hard times. We want to just be thank filled. Thank you for putting me through this, even though you're not really feeling it. But it's just like, thank you for this, because in order for us to really think and be thankful, this is the wisdom. This is the spiritual wisdom divine gives you. This is something that we want to be thankful. Do you know that if you're more thankful in all your askings of divine or prayer or meditation or whatever you do, being more thankful, being more grateful, you get more abundance. And then you also have a different kind of balance than a worldly balance. All right. So it's more of a spiritual thing. This is definitely a spirit. There's somebody really in their work or their whatever they're doing, they're just not, I hate to say the word happy, because happy is earthly, joy filled is spiritual. So they're just not joy filled. So maybe this is a career change. Maybe this is something that, you're thinking about, because we need to get that balance back, because this is about your future. I can't make this stuff up. This is divine. So that you are thinking about your future. You do want to keep moving forward. You do want to do that. Here's the clincher of it. 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords is a card that is usually about deceit. This is about somebody that isn't fair. This is somebody about more of the lower vibrational realm. Lying, manipulative, that kind of a thing. But that's why I said that sometimes we get thrown a wrench in our life or our week or our day. And that right there is something that wants to steal your joy. So this isn't actually really a person in this sense right now for this week. It is something that is stealing your joy and stealing you to get off balance and focus on what you're supposed to be doing, and creating you to have more emotions. This wants you to get low in your low vibrations. Something in your week, or a person, it could be a thing, and it just wants you to start going down, doubting things, questioning things, thinking, what, this isn't worth it, whatever. These low vibrational thoughts. Again, that is why divine put this as the first card, his card. Got to control those feelings. You got to rebuke those low vibrational. Hey, no, you're not coming in. You know what? I'm going to figure this out. Everything is going to be fine, because you know what? I'm going to divine first. He's got my back. I'm going to follow my focus. I'm going to follow my pattern. Let's see if the devil card comes up, because this wants to keep you bound to the low vibration. This wants to keep you from thinking about divine, going to divine first. Because your challenge card, remember, your challenge card is to be joy filled. This is your challenge, because right now you're not. For somebody, they're not joy filled. They don't feel like they can share everything. They don't feel like they can expose themselves. They don't feel safe in an area of sharing who they are. Okay? I don't know who that is for. But that is, if you want to call devil, Satan, low vibration, low energies, that kind of a thing, that's what's trying to steal it. Because in all reality, anything supernatural, not supernatural, worldly, spiritually, wants to take your heart, because that is where love lies, in your spirit. And that is the number one thing people or things want to steal, is the love, the joy, the high vibrations out of you. And that is what divine protects, because that's what he wants you to have. All right. So let's see what else he's got to say. I'd like more clarity on the Emperor, please, for myself, so that I can share what you're trying to get across in this message, please. The wisdom of divine, not the world, please. This is for their future. Somebody's struggling with this doubt. Somebody's struggling with self-esteem. Something's missing. You know what's missing is you're working on your old foundation. You're working from definitely old foundation. Are these upside down? Yes. Okay, so this should be upside right. So definitely. Okay, so we got the King of Cups, and the reason why we oh wow, this is powerful. The King of Cups is really, really important. This is sort of a worldly card. It is about your heart. But the thing about the King of Cups is if you look at him really, really closely on the card, do you notice anything about him in the card? For those of you that know tarot, you already know it. But the thing is, he's sitting in the middle of a storm. The waves are going all over. The boat in the back is going upside down and all over the place. But he is on a concrete block, very stable, very calm, very collected. And what does he have in his hand? He has his cup, and he has they call it a scepter, but it's sort of an angelic, or it's a like what a staff is. It is something that actually it communicates from divine to him, because the King of Cups and the Emperor, look at what they're holding. Or is that to the King of the Cups? Nope, that is the Emperor. They're holding very spiritual things that bring them to their own decisions. And remember, these are two wise, authoritative masculines. And what is it next that we come up with? The High Priestess. This is balance. She's about spirituality, but if you look at the B column and the J column, balance. She's between two. She's between Boaz and she's between Jashim. And she's in front of a curtain, which is a doorway for you to go through. This is all about balance. This is creating your world. This is something that you can do. In your storms, you give thanks. You be joyful. You say, you know what? I'm going to learn a lesson from this. I'm going to come through with something from this. This is going to be good, and I'm going to be fine. But there is something that is on your heart that you're trying to decide on, and you're just not happy about. This is where you got to stay optimistic, but you got to figure things out, not by feelings and emotions, but by your spirit and your intuition. All right. Sorry, I've got two phones going, and I'm in between jobs. So definitely, I've got one phone for business, one phone for personal. So I just have to be mindful that they're not a major thing. All right. So definitely, this is really, really, really strong for somebody. These are strong. Now, you know, we're through the new moon and we're on to the full moon, which is we're in the waxing moon time, which means abundance is coming your way. So these thoughts and these thought processes that you're going through, really listen to what the hermit is saying, the Virgo energy, what it's saying to you, because it's trying to tell you something. So those of you that have a question, that answer is in you already. You've got to pay attention to divine and the High Priestess. If you want to say the High Priestess is Mother Mary or whoever you believe in, you know, that's ever. I go to divine. So anyway, but there is the answer within you already. So you're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. The Four of Cups is overthinking. You're again not joy-filled. You're sort of trying to figure things out, but you're You're focused too much on it. Just let your heart go. Talk to divine. Ask him, where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? How do you want me to do it? Blah, 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 blah. However you pray or you meditate, and just if you're gonna pray, you gotta follow. If you're praying or meditating and you don't follow, what's the purpose of praying? I've been there, guys. I have been there. I had a client yesterday that, we had a longer session than normal, and but it's just because I needed to share that I had been where that client was. I had to share some stories to be able to share that, you know what, you're not alone in this thinking. You're not alone in your struggles, because I've been there. And sometimes we just need that so that we don't think so much. Okay. All right. Divine, is there anything else that you want to share with the Aquarians today? I know that you're wanting them to be joy-filled and full of love. I understand that. I understand they need to walk in absolute truth and love. Is there anything else before I go to the love readings, please? The Five of Swords. Again, we need to really pay attention to the truth of everything. We're fighting our own battle here. We're fighting somebody. Thank you. So what he's saying is somebody is fighting against the storm. So you're like, it's not unfair. It's not right. Why does it always happen to me? Why does this? You're fighting that rather than saying, I don't understand why this is all happening, but I'm sure you have a good reason. So please give me the wisdom to see what it is I need to do. You don't need to understand what's going on. You just need to see what you're supposed to do. That's the wisdom. Okay? And that's the spiritual guidance. All right. All right. So I'm going to go to love because, wow, we are already at 31 minutes. And I put this deck over here. I need that over there. Thank you. So, and don't forget, again, to like, share, subscribe if you haven't done that already. Likes were really important to YouTube. I don't know why. I'm learning about the analytics of that stuff because I guess this month, oh, what is today? I'm filming this on the 15th. Didn't even think about it. I'm filming this on the 15th, and it's for the week. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, 15th. And this is for the 19th to the 25th. Wow, you guys just made me realize this. So this is the 15th. So if you're watching this before the 17th, believe it or not, which I'm really surprised I didn't even think about it until I think last month sometime, I've been on here 1 year. Believe it or not, I've been on. July 17th is 1 year. So I would love for you guys to like my channel. I'm not on here really to gain a ton of subscribers. Yes, if it happens, then Divine wants to bless me. That's great. I'm here to help somebody in their path. Hopefully, that's why my tarot is different. That's why he has me doing it the way that I had to do. When I first started doing tarot a long time ago, however, on YouTube, I did it. I was questioning if I should even be doing it. And then I had a confirmation one day, and I was like, oh, okay, well, then I can see why I'm doing it, because my tarot is different than a lot of people's. It's more helping. I'm not psychic. I'm intuitive. It's a big difference. I do have some clairvoyance, but it's not for this kind of thing. I don't know why and when I get it. I do know what I get it for all the time. But the thing is that this is to help someone in their walk in spiritual, and to see that divine and God actually has the power over your life more than you think. So, and to walk that life is definitely a complete changer. I lived worldly. Even I was on the fence for a long time. Spiritually, I was on the fence. I was not walking the walk. I was believing in it, but I was not walking the walk. Big difference when you walk the walk and then you just don't. When you don't walk the walk, life goes like this. It's confusing. It's a roller coaster. It's all that kind of stuff. But when you literally take hold and walk it 100%, And basically, it's all it is absolute truth and love. Your life changes completely around. Mine did. All right. So for lovers or for people that are beginning to date, singles that want to date, singles that are, this is this week. I can't make this stuff up. It's about the keeper of the scales. Balance, fairness, and balance. What were we talking about before? Life is unfair. It's unfair. My brother's murdered. It's unfair. I can't change it. So, whatever is fair in your relationships, whatever this is for you, it's about something coming together and really making that partnership work, or separating and realizing it was a season, it's not the time, it might be the wrong time or whatever, and maybe it'll come back, because the number 38 turns into 11, which turns into 2, which is a partnership. It's either coming together or being blown apart. So it's time to say, yes, we need to be together. No, it's time to call it, great, and leave admirably. Why do people leave and they have to be so nasty? Okay, you don't get along, or you made a mistake, or it's a situationship, but why do you leave it and not be admirable? Just, you don't get along. Okay, at least be congenial to each other. I never left a relationship that way. Even if I had to separate for a while, I would come back and at least be human to that person, because just because we didn't get along or we didn't work out, why is it that people get so nasty? And money, oh my gosh. But this is about either holding it together. And you know what? The only thing that's going to hold it together is divine and also communication. Communication is huge. And walking in the truth, absolute truth. Okay? So this is definitely about balance in your relationship that's coming. What is it? There are many people that their relationships have been manipulated, probably more than divine intervened, because they weren't patient. But the thing is that definitely it makes it really hard, because it's not meant to be. You're not even supposed to be together. Yeah. Oh my God, I cannot believe this. Thank you, God. So we have the super moon, which is emotions are running high. What is the first card out? Feelings and emotions. Emotions are running high. Okay, when emotions are running high, we sometimes get too heated when we need to diffuse. Diffuse any arguments, diffuse any angers. Emotions are running high. This also could mean that emotions are really joy filled. Your last card, and you need to learn how to be filled with joy yourself first, before anybody can actually add to that. Relationships, that you got to come in. You're an entree, they're an entree. You both are just dessert to each other. You make things more happy, that kind of a thing. So emotions can be running high in a positive way. Emotions can be running low. Which is it for you? Because it is about fairness and balance. Okay. And then show the world real you. We talk about that a lot, guys. We talk that about in absolute truth. Who are you? If you haven't watched the video, Walking in Truth, or Walking in the Real You, or whatever, it's in the playlist. Or if you just type in walking in my YouTube channel, it'll pop up. It's got a foot walking, and do you know who you are? Kind of a thing. This is definitely, if you don't know who you are in a relationship, if you don't know what you love, what your passion is, what your goals are, what you want to move forward in, they won't either. And how are they supposed to figure you out if you don't even know you? Very good video. You got to remember, I don't toot my own horn. This is divine's information he gives me to tell you. Sometimes I actually think it's sort of boring, but when I go back and watch it, I'm like, oh, who is this for? It's not for me. I mean, he gives me my own homework. Trust me, I got my own issues. But the thing is that if we don't even know ourselves, I walked that walk. I knew who I was, but I was afraid to show it. If you're in a relationship, you need to be who you are, not some fake, because they're falling in love or they're falling for you because of what you're representing. If that's not the real you, you need to show the real you, because if you show the real you, and they're not interested, that means you've just wasted time with somebody that shouldn't you even been with. And you're not allowing the divine to bring you the person that you're supposed to be with. Okay? So, fairness and balance in yourself, in your relationship, and truth in there. All right? All right, you guys. Aquarians, what a reading. You know, if this was my sign, I would probably go back and watch it again or watch parts of it again if this resonated with you. If it resonated with me, I would need to hear this again because the divine sure has a huge message in this walk. Definitely. Stay positive. Give thanks. Stay positive. Be positive to yourself. Be positive to people around you. All right. Now, this was for the 19th to 25th. There is no other. We do have a full moon coming up. I will talk about that on the next reading because I will probably do a full moon reading again. Getting back, I've had a lot of leg problems, so I've been trying to get back to work, and it's been sort of touch and go kind of thing. So I'm trying to just get back in the swing of things. So bear with me a little bit. I hope you guys have a great week. Don't forget to walk in absolute truth. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, smash those buttons, please. And then I will see you next week. And walk in love. Please love, because that's the number one thing in this world. Thank you. Bye.